So, let's see. If I have, if I have this equation right here, how could I solve that equation?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3, right? Is that the only way to solve that equation? You're like, wait, what? Yeah? What if I did this? Okay, whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So what happens over here if I multiply by 1/3? You just have x. Is that solved? What's the point of solving? You get x by itself to isolate your variable. Okay. And what's 1/3 of 21? 7. Okay. So basically what I just did right there is I multiplied times the multiplicative inverse. Because 3 is 3 over 1. Flip and multiply. If I multiply times 1/3, they cancel out. So whatever you do one side, you have to do the other. And I just solved that equation not by dividing, but by multiplying times the inverse. Why is that important that I just showed you this instead of dividing, multiplying by the inverse? You know? You can't divide matrices. There's not matrix division, but you can multiply by inverses. Okay? So let's say we've got two matrices. Matrix A times some matrix X that we don't know. But when I multiply them together, they make matrix B. Okay. If an inverse of a matrix exists, and what makes them not exist? When does a matrix not exist? Or when does an inverse not exist? When the determinant is 0. If the determinant is 0, then the inverse does not exist. But if it exists, you can use the inverse to find what that missing matrix is. You can multiply times its inverse. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Remember, order is important on matrices. What happens when you multiply a matrix and its inverse? Right, they don't necessarily cancel each other out. They become that identity matrix. Remember that? Anything times that identity matrix is itself. So over here, we would just be left with x. And over here, we would be left with whatever the product of the inverse of A times B is. Okay? That's how we're going to solve our matrix equations today. You can do this multiplication by hand, or you can do all of it in your calculator. If you have a calculator with battery. Alright, you can figure it out. Alright, so let's just jump right in. Alright, I do not care what you put these in as in your calculator. I'm going to put this one in as A, and I'm going to put this one in as B. That's what I'm going to do, okay? If that's how you want to do it, great. If not, just keep up with it. If you just got your calculator and batteries, you may want to see if someone at your table can show you how to put it in. Alright, so remember, order is important. I have to multiply times this one's inverse. I named it A. So I have to multiply times the inverse of A. That's multiply times the inverse of x. You can put this in your calculator. You can go and choose matrix A. It'll look like this. And then that x to the negative 1, that is the same button as the matrix button. Put that right there. And then you choose matrix B in your calculator and hit enter. What does matrix X equal?
Negative 4, 2.
Negative 4 and 2. Is that what you got? Did I get that? Yeah? You get it? Alright, let's see
This is
what happens.
because I don't know how to do it.
No one at your table will be nicer to tell you?
3.2.
Alright, so you go to matrix, over to edit, and A is 2, dot 2, and then you just put all of them there, and then you do the same thing for B.
Oh.
And B is a 2 by 1. It's already there, and then you clear the end. Okay? Alright, so let me give you one to try by yourself. Okay, I can still write you. Alright, do this one by yourself.
You got 9 days,
Negative
11 days like that?
I can play it for percent if I do it every single day.
Is this what everybody got?
Except for one, get up early.
That's it. That's the answer. Okay. What if, let me give you one more, and then I'm going to set you on. What?
It's not a hobby, it's what I do.
Alright. What's going to be different about this one?
You just gotta add 3.
Yeah, you go to add first, right? This is basically a two-step equation. But it's a two-step equation with a matrix. So each of those 2 steps has 4 steps. So yeah, it's like an 8-step equation. But still, it's not difficult. Alright, so work through this one. Compare your answer with your neighbor. We'll talk about it in just a minute. So first of all, I need to subtract all this, right? Let me rewrite this. 4, negative 5, 1, negative 1, right?
Yep.
Okay. So then these are the two that get multiplied together. Okay. The inverse of this one times this one. Right? Okay, so what does x equal?
1, negative 2, 0, 1.
That is correct. If you don't have this right, then this is not going to be right. Okay.
Round to 0.
Oh, there you go. It's a negative 3. Yeah, see, 6 minus 2, 2 minus 7, negative 2 minus negative 3, 3 minus 4. Yeah, because it's this minus that. Alright. Got it?